I'm not that worried about it because, man, is he boring. Like, it's very hard to, actually absorb anything Obama's saying. You're just going, come on, dude. You could drive a truck through those spaces between words. It's just like, we get it. You're important, historic, but try to speed it up a bit.
His administration's done. His foreign policy's done. So anything he does right now just doesn't mean anything. And this is almost like trying to get the last word in a conversation you lost. Like, your mama. That's basically what Obama did. We kick out the diplomats, but it doesn't affect him.
Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus just cracked open a political piñata. And guess whose name spilled out? Yep, Obama. Apparently, there's a secret so wild, even the teleprompter flinched. These two didn't just chat. They dropped something that's got half of Washington clutching their coffee mugs. So what exactly did Obama do that's got Gutfeld grinning like he just won a bet with Fox News itself? Stick around, because this one might just rewrite the entire cool president storyline forever.
Really, the most boring person on the planet. And that says something. I have a rule of thumb, though. When they say it's both sides...
The previous segment, we talked about when his publisher told him to speak, and when he got to talk for himself. This is another example of a brother having to talk about something that they told him to say.
If you're enjoying this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. Because apparently, Gutfeld and Tyrus have done it again. The unlikely comedy duo of political chaos just peeled back another layer of the DC onion. And this time, the name floating out of the mist was none other than Barack Obama. Oh yes, the man who once made calm under pressure a personality trait might be hiding a secret that's anything but chill.
He could cut a rug. Look at Syria, Iran, ISIS. I'd say his best move was the chicken dance.
Oh boy.
And Obamacare, a hustle. Don't worry, sad stars. Obama isn't really going away, though. He can always keep playing a president on TV. He'd probably do a great job, or at least do less damage. So, Hollywood will miss Obama. But what will Obama miss? Donald Trump, ISIS, American descent? It's hard to miss something you didn't see coming or going in the first place. The rise of ISIS, the pernicious spread of Islamism, flourished under the president. These are the things that he overlooked.
And not just any secret, the kind that's got Gutfeld smirking like he just found out Area 51 has a gift shop. Whenever he grins like that, you know something's cooking. It's that same look a cat gives when it's staring into a corner for no reason. Except with Gutfeld, the corner usually hides a truth the media forgot to dust off.
Well, you also missed the fact that he also unfriended Obama on Facebook. So this is laughable. Unfortunately for our president, who's done, and they know he's done, and these sanctions mean absolutely nothing. When these sanctions came out, his phone buzzed. He got a DM from probably Donald Trump saying, "Don't trip, I got this. We'll fix it, after the 20th." And he went, "Okay, cool. We're good. Now go ahead. Enjoy."
And right beside him, Tyrus, part human lie detector, part sarcasm distributor, arms folded, ready to break it all down. Because when Gutfeld and Tyrus go digging, it's never gentle. It's a roast wrapped in mystery, marinated in punchlines, and served fresh on a Fox News platter.
Obama and Trump say what? Tyrus, Trump, and Obama sat next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They appear to have buried the hatchet. What do you think they were saying?
Oh, I know what they were saying.
What?
Hey, two-term guy. What's up, two-term guy? How are you doing? I don't know, just doing my two-term thing. And Biden was in the front and Kamala was in the... And, oh, hey, I'm sorry, no term and one term.
It's so funny. Dana, and meanwhile, you have Hillary, no term, sitting there, and she's just away from her two-term Trump.
Hey, but she got that.
So what's the big Obama secret? Oh, you thought it was something small, like a Netflix pitch or a golf game gone wrong? Think again. Gutfeld and Tyrus went full deep dive, pulling at threads that most people pretend not to see. The whispers, the timing, the subtle power moves, all the things that make you go, hold on. Why does everything somehow circle back to the Obamas? It's almost funny how every political twist ends up with his name hovering in the background like a watermark. Gutfeld joked that Obama could be surfing in Hawaii and still somehow get blamed or credited for what's happening in Washington. Biden fumbles a line. Must be the ghost of Obama's teleprompter. Gas prices rise? Probably his shadow. But this time, it's not about blame. It's about what he's been quietly doing behind the scenes. The rumor? Maybe, just maybe, Obama's still running the show. Not officially, of course, but unofficially? Let's just say, the man's fingerprints might be all over every too smooth political decision out there.
President Obama still has Trump on his mind. Tuesday, he spoke to the Economic Club of Chicago, where Crain's columnist Greg Huns noted a startling comparison of Trump to Hitler. Huns paraphrases what he heard President Obama say. We have to tend to this garden of democracy or else things could fall apart quickly. That's what happened in Germany in the 1930s, which despite the democracy of the Weimar Republic and centuries of high-level cultural and scientific achievements, Adolf Hitler rose to dominate. 60 million people died, so you got to pay attention and vote. So, Nazi Germany, here we go.
You could see Gutfeld loving it. He called it the invisible presidency, that quiet kind of control that doesn't need press briefings or Secret Service convoys. Just a few calls, a whisper here, and boom, national alignment. Obama turned politics into a subscription service. You don't see him, but you're still getting billed monthly. Meanwhile, Tyrus leaned back with that told-you-so look, connecting the dots everyone else ignores. The timing, the messaging, the tone. It all screams Obama alumni reunion tour. And honestly, it makes sense. The guy left office but somehow kept the Wi-Fi password. What's wild is how calm everyone is about it. Obama could show up at a G7 meeting, take the mic, and half the world would just nod like, yeah, that tracks. That's not just influence, that's cultural permanence.
The website, I think, was $29 a month for the Fiddling crew. I don't think the American people are glad to see that one go, but when Kennedy acknowledged earlier that Joe was going to be taking this over. So they put the two most easiest things to cut off that there was no victory, and I think he understood that, because let's remember, when he got out, when his term was up, he did not endorse Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was crooked and was fleecing the country then on his...
But of course, the duo didn't stop there. Gutfeld zeroed in on the real irony. Obama's the only guy who retired from politics but still seems to run the plot. Everyone else leaves office and fades into memoirs and paid speeches. Obama? He toned his presidency into a brand franchise. Obama, the sequel. Obama Executive Decisions, now streaming. And honestly, if he really is still pulling the strings, you can't even be mad, because no one else could make behind-the-scenes control look this smooth. Most politicians can't even hide a bad haircut. Obama could hide a full operation and still trend for his Spotify playlist. That's what Gutfeld and Tyrus were laughing about. The man's cultural power. He could post a sandwich, and the internet would debate its symbolism for a week.
Energy for the rest of your life. It's like, how could this be bad? And you have cheap natural gas, but he is terrified of, I think, the environmentalist factions in his own party. He can't say, being not cool. That's what it is.
Thank you.
That was a good heckle.
Heckle.
Yeah, but it's true. No, he's scared. He is scared of that's part of the problem. Is environmentalism is perceived as a cool.
And when these two drop a theory, social media loses its mind. Some people are outraged, others are amused, and most are just grabbing popcorn because, let's face it, this is the drama politics desperately needs. Forget scandals, give us plot twists. The moment anything weird happens in DC, you can see Gutfeld's eyebrow twitch like radar. Is this another Obama thing? It's like his own Marvel universe, except every storyline somehow loops back to Obama's mysterious influence. And Tyrus? He's the perfect sidekick. Doesn't say much, just nods like, yeah, I see it too. Together, they're like political detectives in a buddy cop comedy, except the case file says Obama, still running things.
He was the first black president. You get that, oh, I can't have any problems. And Joe was like, don't worry, I'll get all the problems for you, all the smoke. So when he was doing that, you can tell it's disingenuous because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing instead of saying, look, I'm going to put this moron who's going to steal and make it way worse. And now we've seen from that date, from that time, how big the spending and ridiculousness has gotten with Joe Biden's fingers always being around it with the exception of 4 years. So I think, and if you asked him if the camera turned off, he would have been like, man, I can't believe we're going to let this dumb be in charge of this stuff. You know he's going to screw this up right. That's exactly what would have happened.
But here's the deeper layer. Gutfeld hinted that maybe people want this to be true. There's something oddly comforting about believing there's still an adult quietly steering the ship. Because the alternative? Chaos. And chaos doesn't fit Obama's aesthetic. No, he's too polished for that. If he's really behind the curtain, you know he's making sure it's ironed first. That's what makes their theory both hilarious and oddly believable. Because Obama isn't just an ex-president. He's an ex-president with Wi-Fi access to the entire media circuit.
Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about.
Like, I think Obama appreciates Trump for saying what he wished he could say.
Well, not just that, and they also were both like, hey, we both won twice. So that
Yeah.
That's when Gutfeld coined the term the Obama Management Corporation, where every crisis comes with a perfectly timed smirk. Tyrus nearly lost it picturing Obama sitting in a leather chair, coffee mug labeled Hope and Control, calmly watching the world spin. Because honestly, if anyone can run a government remotely and make it look effortless, it's the guy who turns speeches into poetry and politics into a TED Talk. Even when they're joking, there's a sense that Gutfeld might not be entirely wrong. Every new leader, every polished press release, it all feels like an Obama remix. If true, he's the world's smoothest puppet master. If false, he's still living rent-free in everyone's head. Either way, he wins.
Soothed by his NPR voice. I was the most relaxing I've ever heard of him. Look, I think he's sexist. I think he's portraying his candidate as a damsel in distress. That somehow she's the target of all these things, when in fact she's responsible for all these things by having this email, this private server. And there's one thing too that he's ignoring, and a lot of people are ignoring, is that Team Hillary knew about Anthony Weiner before he resigned.
The funniest part? Obama doesn't even deny it. He just smiles, that calm, trademark grin that says, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And that's the genius of it. That's real power. Because while the internet argues, Gutfeld and Tyrus just sit back, cracking jokes like two comedians who stumbled onto the world's biggest political mystery. Obama's the ringmaster who never left. And they're the two funniest guys pointing at the magic trick everyone's pretending not to see. Somewhere out there, Obama's probably smiling again, calm, amused, and quietly entertained. Because when your secret is that you might still be in charge, you don't need to deny it. You just let them keep guessing.
Michelle Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it. And
that's exactly what happened. Gutfeld and Tyrus watched as the internet went nuclear. Their clip got remixed, captioned, and overanalyzed by people who clearly missed the sarcasm, but loved the scandal. Obama said nothing, which only made it funnier, because nothing fuels a rumor like calm silence. By the weekend, everyone had picked a side. Believers, skeptics, and those just here for the entertainment. And that's when it hit. Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't just expose a secret. They exposed America's favorite addiction, needing Obama to still be the main character. They lit the match, walked away, and watched the bonfire burn.